Jarrett, you have a thing.
Yes. So, okay. I'm not really doing a new thing here, but maybe I'm doing a new thing here, but I don't know yet. We gonna see. Tre'vell and I were just on an episode of Pop Culture Happy Hour that I plugged a week too early and is out now as you are listening to this podcast. On the new stand-up special from Monique. And I said in that interview, in that conversation, that I had some questions that weren't really any of my business, right? Some things that I just would like to know about the production of the special. And so in that, I started thinking about other things that weren't really my business, but I had some curiosity around. And I wanted to bring them here and see if you were also curious about them and see what you might think about these particular conversations.
Okay.
It kind of started about two different issues. One, last week we talked a little bit about the LSU women's basketball thing. You know, we're a big sports show, especially when it comes to the basketball.
Oh yes, dribbling.
Of the NC of the are they the women's basketball is NCAA, right? We have a lesbian on staff. You can say something in the chat, Laura.
It's NCAA. Yes, we don't need the lesbians to we I know that.
Well, I know you host a daily news show, and
I do.
I'm traumatized 2 or 3 times a week when I hear "Good morning, I'm Tre'vell Anderson" as I wake up.
You're welcome.
Over on What a Day.
Good morning, What a Day. Available every weekday. Okay, wherever you get Slayworthy podcasts, daily news with a little razzle dazzle.
Come on back. So we are.
Listen, I'm always here.
One of those stories is the LSU women's basketball team, and the way that they're winning after, you know, with all the controversy on television about the sportsman-like conduct and the conversation around the 2 lead women there. Jill Biden offering the losing team to also come to the White House and how that pissed off a lot of people for a lot of reasons. And I was really curious about the conversation Jill Biden may or may not have had with Michelle Obama in the last week. And because I feel like Michelle Obama might be one of Jill Biden's black friends that like is available in these kinds of moments.
Oh, wow.
Well, let's think about it.
Oh, wow.
Jill Biden was second lady to Michelle Obama for 8 years. They worked on various different initiatives together. What?
Okay, but I'm sorry. I see their relationship as very, you know,
ceremonial.
Black coworker, white coworker. Like, yeah, that's my good work friend. But like, bitch, when I left the job, I left her as well. Like, leave me alone.
I don't know you. Right?
Very that.
Well, like, I get that, but like, I recognize that they have been connected now ever since, right? They are always going to be,
sure,
you know, they will always have that legacy together.
Absolutely.
Michelle is one of the few people that Jill can call on for experience as a past first lady, because I'm assuming she's not calling Melania.
Likely not.
And so I think that they have some kind of relationship. We've seen them campaign together and things like that. And so I was like, I wonder what it's like to be Michelle Obama when Jill Biden has really fucked it up like this, and you got to maybe explain this. And I was like, I wonder what that conversation is like.
As long as it's Viola Davis as Michelle Obama.
Absolutely not.
Talking to...
Nigga. I'm not doing it. I can't remember how she said the word, but it did irk me a little bit.
You know, she was doing that thing with her lips. So, you know, it's interesting because I think you're right that, like, I am always interested in, when it comes to these political situations, what like the black people are saying to, you know, the largely white folks, you know, mostly in charge when they fuck up on a race issue. Like, what is Karine Jean-Pierre, you know, saying to them, you know, in the Oval Office? Because, you know, she gotta go out there and be the, you know, the spokesperson for the foolishness, right, that they done did. I just hope that she is tearing them a new one every single time. Who just won't like you? Like,
but my guess is she can't.
Probably not.
Right? Like, Karine Jean-Pierre, White House press secretary, the first black queer person in that role. It's just like, I wonder what it's like to be in that situation. The other conversation that I was actually really curious about was completely unrelated, was about Chlöe Bailey's new album. And all of the conversation around Chlöe Bailey, and obviously Hailey has The Little Mermaid coming out. But I was really curious about what Chlöe Bailey's conversations with Beyoncé were like in this period, right? right before the album comes out, like finishing it up and doing all the things and like getting ready, and then it being out in the world and like being critiqued and people having things to say about it and those different kinds of things. I've been thinking about like, I wonder what Beyoncé has been saying to Chlöe Bailey. It ain't none of my business, but like, I'm curious about it. What do you think? What do you think it's giving?
I feel like Beyonce, I don't know, because we always have this thought about like Beyonce's hand over, you know, the kids, right? Her, you know, they're not kids; these are young women. But when they first came into Beyonce's orbit, they were kids, right? And then we've all seen, particularly with Chlöe, what we believe are Beyonce-isms, right? Peppered throughout her performance style and some of the vocals and whatnot. But Beyonce should be preparing for said tour.
Well, that's
ain't no need for no feedback. Let that girl do what she do. Hopefully. But I'm sure Chlöe sent it to her, texted it to her, you know, a WeTransfer link to Beyonce.
You know that park was like, you know that park is tight. Baby, it ain't a WeTransfer. It's Signal, and then a WeTransfer under that, and then another thing, and then another thing. Right. You got to put your thumbprint and you scan your retina.
Listen, we not doing no leaks, honey. But I'm sure, because I always think about just the natural pressure that there is to be like Beyonce's protégé, right? And we should note, right? Parkwood, Beyonce has put her hand on a number of up and coming artists who we don't know about today, but we do know about Chlöe and Halle, and so, you know, pay attention. That felt very Hotepi conspiracy theory, very Illuminati. Pay attention. Are you watching? And that's not what I meant.
Oh no,
I just want to be clear, because we on the YouTubes, and baby, this goes down a whole different rabbit hole, and we don't want that. Abort mission. No thank you. No thank you.
I heard it as like someone taking strays, and you heard it as Illuminati. So, you know, it is what it is.
Because you know those videos, anytime they talk about Beyonce, they be like, ooh, the rock and you know, the flames in the eyes.
You know what? Let's not talk about it, because the transcript is gonna go into the internet, and we done already said the I word and her name too many times. We gonna go ahead on and move. Thank you so much for listening to the segment. I'm scared now. A little bit nervous that you went down that rabbit hole.
Oh, I love that for us.
But I part of me was thinking about the fact that Beyonce is getting ready for world tour, and that she's like, you know, in rehearsal mode. And I'm thinking about all of the behind the scenes that we saw in Homecoming, and like imagining that it must be to another scale, right? Like, is Beyonce not eating you know, meat or lamb or fish or, you know, sugar or caffeine or whatever, and like, what is it like to be in communication with Beyonce in that period while you're dropping an album and you're her protege and it's your first? I was really curious about what that might be like. So
okay, but you didn't say whether you liked the album or not. I haven't listened to it. Did you like it? Do you approve?
I enjoyed it. It's kind of like SZA's album for me. Like, I've been able to turn it on and play it in the background, but I don't really have any favorites yet. Right? Like, I can enjoy it and like bop along and recognize a couple, but like, I haven't really gotten any songs where I'm like, oh, this is my shit.
Okay. I haven't.
You haven't listened to either one of them.
I listened to SZA, but you know, I didn't latch onto it like the, you know, broader world has latched onto it. There was a couple songs.
Because you're a member of the Illuminati? I'm curious about what you were doing there. I'm scared. We want to know what y'all think about this. Get to break. We got a commercial and a show coming up. I'm nervous now. God. We shouldn't have done any of that.
I serve an awesome God, okay?
Oh, hello. Come on. Honey, that came out your shondo.
Let's go to break.
Go to break.